It's still AFCON Express. We're being joined by our correspondent in Morocco, now in Marrakesh, formerly in Fez, Udoka Ojoku joins us tonight. Udoka, thank you so much for joining us. Somebody was making a joke here that you're probably in a warehouse, but can you please tell us exactly where you are so that we know you're safe? All I can see is darkness behind you.
So we're here in Marrakesh, standing at the balcony, and it is freezing cold here. It's about 6 degrees here in Marrakesh. If you go downstairs, except you're trying to travel to Russia or Moscow, then you know what it feels like here. So we had to just stay at the balcony because it is crazily cold in Marrakesh.
I can feel your cold, but it wasn't that cold earlier on when the Super Eagles arrived in Marrakesh from Fez. They looked to be in good spirits after threatening not to travel. But they're now in Marrakesh. We also had a training session earlier today. We're aware of that as well. From what you've heard from the team's camp, and we heard quite a lot regarding how the Nigerian government has also joined the fray. They've promised the players that they'll get their money in due course. Do the players seem satisfied with all the explanations that they've gotten from the Nigerian authorities regarding their bonuses?
Well, yes. From what we saw today during the welcome at the Savoy Hotel, the players looked quite confident and satisfied with whatever it is that they've had, the conversation they had earlier today with the NSC and the government of Nigeria. But of course, they are looking forward to that game against Algeria. But from what we saw today at the hotel, they were looking quite confident and satisfied that they will get everything that they deserve from the government.
Well, Udoka, you've also been watching this Nigerian team as well. Thankfully, there don't seem to be any more injuries apart from the ones that we are aware of. That's Ryan Alebioshu and, of course, Cyril Dessers, who has since left the team as well. So if you want to call it, if you were to call it, will it be some of the same? Probably the same starting lineup that featured against Mozambique and got those 4 goals. Eric Schell doesn't seem like want to chop and change a little. Do you foresee the same starting lineup?
Well, for me, I think it is the same starting lineup because, I mean, the team that played against Mozambique was just perfect on the night. In as much as they are a lowly rated opponent, talking about Mozambique, I think Eric Schell will stick with that formation. He will stick with a winning formation. I don't think we'll see a lot of changes in that one. Expecting the same corporates to still start Victor Osimhen, Ademola Lookman. There's also maybe we'll get to see Frank Onyeka right there in the midfield. But of course, Alex Iwobi, who has been the heart of the Super Eagles, will definitely start and lead the team in that one in the midfield. And we'll get to see maybe the same result, rather maybe a 1-0 win over Algeria. But I suspect that Eric Schell will stick to the same formation and the same team that played against Mozambique.
Udoka, let's address the elephant in the room. And you saw training today in Marrakesh, right? And what's the body language like from players like Victor Osimhen and Ademola Lookman? I mean, what did you deduce from their dynamics today, how they were getting ready for Algeria? We still have not heard anything from the dressing room in terms of an apology, from Victor Osimhen for what happened. Although we know that Lookman has put out a post a couple of days ago. But what did you learn from today's session in Marrakesh?
Well, from today's training session, of course, it was all brotherly love between Osimhen and Ademola Lookman. I remember a couple of days ago, about 2 days ago, Victor Osimhen apologized to the teammates during breakfast while they were back in Fez. So that apology has been made. Victor Osimhen has apologized. Ademola Lookman has moved on. And the coach, like he said during the press conference after that game against Mozambique, he said whatever happens on the football pitch and the dressing room stays there. And they came out to say that, look, every score has been settled, so there's no issue between Osimhen and Lookman. He did arrive with the team today at the hotel, and he was smiling all through. So it's just brotherly love between Osimhen and Ademola Lookman, no fracas at all. And we're expecting to see them collaborate again against Algeria. Maybe both of them would have a goal and assist each in that game. But it's all brotherly love.
Okay. It's interesting that I should say that because a former Super Eagles captain has been weighing in on this particular issue, none other than John Obi Mikel, who actually defended Victor Osimhen's on-field heated exchange with Ademola Lookman during that game against Mozambique. Speaking on his, well, now infamous podcast, Mikel said Osimhen's reaction, I quote, reflected the warrior spirit required at the top level, especially after the striker missed a chance to complete a hat-trick. Osimhen had already scored twice. Both were of those goals were assisted by Lookman. And while backing the competitive edge, Mikel criticized Osimhen's body language after the incident, stressing that no player is bigger than the team. He, however, praised Lookman's mature response and urged calm management ahead of Nigeria's quarterfinal clash against Algeria. Let's take a quick listen to what John Obi Mikel was saying.
From him, the way he plays. He's a humble kid. He's a very nice kid. But he plays the way he plays. And I don't want to see that taken away from him the way he plays. The way he fights on the pitch, the aggressivity that he has on the pitch, the warriorness he has on the pitch, that he fights like a lion. I like to see that. I want him to keep that. Don't take that away from Victor. You take that away from Victor, you don't get the best out of him.
I learned a few new words now, aggressivity and warriorness. But I need to ask you, Wale, I mean, you've weighed in on this as well.
Yeah.
You've also been pilloried on social media regarding this. You said that, I quote, you said that he was behaving like a sport brat.
Yeah.
And so many times we've seen this happen again with teammates, with managers, both for club and country. At what point do we now begin to tell Victor Osimhen, say, you can't be acting like this?
First things first.
Or is it true that we need to encourage this kind of behavior?
I mean, Mikel has joined the passion bandwagon, basically. Okay. But that was a dumb take from Mikel Obi. It was a dumb take, honestly, because what he's saying is that we should encourage what he's doing.
You should encourage.
What he should be saying is the messaging should be, he needs to channel it professionally and positively. What he's done on that day, was it professional? No. Is Mikel going to take that when he was a player? He was quoting what happened between him and Victor Moses at the AFCON, but was it on this scale? When he was shouting out a fellow player, was telling the manager to take him off? What if we needed to score the winner in that game? Was he
in an earlier game, he also verbally chased after a match official.
Yeah.
The assistant referee.
So that is.
It seems that there's nobody off the radar.
That is useless aggressivity. Like Mikel has just. In quote. So Mikel knows better than this. So that's a very dumb take. But I'm happy that reportedly he has apologized.
Oh, okay. So we seem to have lost Udoka Ojukwu, because I really want to hear his own opinion regarding what John Mikel Obi had to say regarding Victor Osimhen's role in this particular fracas. But thankfully, Udoka told us very clearly that it's all resolved now. Both players are back in brotherly love, and everything is all hunky-dory. So we'll be getting back to Udoka tomorrow, bringing us more updates from the Nigeria football camp. But Wale, we have to talk about the Super Eagles team and their threat to down tools. Was this wise? Considering, in fact, just before this competition started, this same authorities came to you, gave you the documents to the houses that the government had promised you. They've shown that they're willing to keep promises. So why do you need to threaten to down tools?
To the best of my knowledge, what I heard was, it was just a threat.
Sorry, Wale, we have Udoka back. Udoka, okay. I know it's very cold and we really need to go. I need to get your take on this as well. Do you honestly believe that Nigerians or the Nigerian national team are enabling and pampering a spoilt brat, in quotes, in Victor Osimhen? Or should we begin to tell him that he plays within the team and he must respect his teammates? Because at some point, he might just become beyond control.
Right, of course, I heard what Mikel Obi said about Victor Osimhen's attitude. Of course, it is okay for you to be a warrior and shout at your teammates if you're not getting the football on your feet to score goals. I'm sure Osimhen wanted to score a hat-trick against Mozambique, but the fact that he was absent from the team, he decided to pull away from everything, all the activities going on that pitch, not to be a part of it, also asking to be substituted. I think it is totally wrong. We all know that Jose Mourinho will not allow this happen. Maybe Victor Osimhen wouldn't have even featured in the game against Algeria. We don't know what kind of formation Eric Schell will come up with. If Victor Osimhen will be on the bench, that would really be a statement. But I think we should not allow this kind of attitude continue. There should be a proper punishment for players who act like they are bigger than, nobody's bigger than the football team. Nobody's bigger than the country. Nobody's bigger than that jersey. If you are called upon to serve, then you should serve, be it if you're getting the ball or not. You should be able to bring your head down and serve, even if you're not getting the goals. I'll take an example of Victor Gyökeres, who is not even scoring goals for Arsenal, but he keeps starting each and every game. He gets substituted in the second half, and it does not complain. So Victor Osimhen, score or not, he should learn to keep his head low and focus on the game and not pull away from whatever the team is doing on the football pitch.
Well, Udoka Ojoko, our man in Morocco, who's been bringing us all the updates from the Super Eagles camp. Thank you so much for your time. You've always been picking up a few nicknames. First was the Winter Soldier. Now it's the Man of the Night. I'm wondering what you're going to come up with next. Maybe the Desert Fox Killer.
The King of the Night's Watch.
King of the Night, yeah. Or Man of the Night's Watch. That's another good one, Wale. But thank you so much, Udoka. I will be reaching out to you tomorrow ahead of that game.